Achtung, Achtung! Hier sind die Ultrakurzwellensender Berlin-Witzleben auf Welle 6,772 Meter für Bild und auf Welle 7,06 Meter für Ton. Das Reichspostzentralamt...
In Berlin and other cities, public viewing rooms were set up.
Man bloß gut, dass alles Schwindel ist, nicht?
Transmission of the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin was the big test for television. It was the first time that a major event had been covered directly. After the initial experiments with the new medium, it took another 15 years or so for TV receivers to move from public viewing rooms to private living rooms. Brown himself had never even thought about this miracle for millions, indeed billions of people. He'd regarded his cathode ray tube solely as a tool for science. Instead of originally one, modern television tubes now have 3 beam systems for red, green and blue. The colours are formed on the screen, which has a scan area with different fluorescent substances for the 3 colours. Colour television technology hasn't changed Brown's principle either. Several years ago, a historian wrote, "Like a great work of art, the cathode ray tube is so simple, yet so perfect, that changes to it were neither necessary nor possible." Platinum filament with heater current flowing through it. The hot cathode made the brown tube a lot easier to use. It meant that only a few hundred volts were required instead of the tens of thousands of volts needed by Brown's original model. Vainault also devised a new kind of control electrode for the electron beam, the Vainault cylinder as it's known. The cathode ray oscilloscope attained such a level of perfection that it has remained practically unchanged through to the present day. The basic principle: electrodes are emitted by the hot cathode and focused into a beam by a lens. The Vainault cylinder serves to modulate the brightness of the beam. The anode is configured as a pinhole stop. It accelerates the electrons that have been focused into a beam. Deflection plates produce an electrical field vertical to the electron beam. In doing so, they cause the spot of light to deviate on the screen. The air traffic control tower at Frankfurt Airport. Here, cathode ray oscilloscopes serve as displays for radar systems. Radar technology uses the tiniest fractions of time. A radar pulse is transmitted every 200 microseconds. An aircraft reflecting the radar pulse back to Earth is seen on the visual display by the air traffic controller as a bright, quickly moving dot. Today, radar technology is one of the most important areas of application for the cathode ray tube. Another, scarcely less important, is well known: television. A beam of light that can draw. In the early days of television, the effect of the electrical forces inside a cathode ray tube was explained in a highly graphic way. Little people were shown as being responsible for modulating the brightness of the cathode ray and for deflecting it from left to right, from top to bottom. What actually happens is that the electron beam scans the screen line by line. It covers the entire surface 25 times a second. To the human eye, these fast movements appear as a continuous sequence of pictures. One of Brown's assistants, Max Diekmann, had noticed at an early stage that the cathode ray tube could make the dream of television, seeing over a long distance,
Voor een foto met een lange belichtingstijd moet de camera de beweging van de sterren volgen.